shop here in Brisbane. That's my mobile number just there if anyone needs to talk about it. And we do this every Monday night. And so we've got a stack of prizes here to give away tonight. So tonight's major prize, I suppose you'd call it, is an AT Pro Pointer. $239 to $25 depending on the day of the week. So just a fantastic little pinpointer. So the idea of this is as you get close to a target, away it goes. So all you've got to do to win that tonight is share this live stream, and yes, we can go from there. Second prize, since it's yellow, it doesn't really work. It's basically a sand scoop, a yellow sand scoop. Nice little Garrett one there, about $45. And for third prize, we've got a Gold Diggers mug. Obviously not this one. Obviously I'll get you a brand new one. So welcome to Monday Night Live 44. So tonight, I sort of put it out there as a little bit of boating detecting, and I know that's a bit whatever, but we've got, and I suppose the purpose of tonight is to get you guys thinking outside the box at locations. It's easy to go to the obvious ones. We had I teamed up with NQ Explorers, Warren and Colleen, the other day, and we went down to the beautiful Gold Coast, and we had a little detected a spot that I'd always had my eye on. So yes, so we'll go through that a little bit tonight. Stack of people here tonight. Steve's here, Brenda, Dion. My comments aren't quite perfect here, so we'll just fix these comments up. So yes, so we've also got tonight, we've got a little, for the first time ever, there's going to be ads. I've got 3 ads to play for you tonight, so we'll do that, and it's mostly for the Victorians, but there's an election coming up that we certainly don't want some bits and pieces happening. So we might just roll one of these ads here now. I'll disappear for a moment and be back with you momentarily.
Look, Pa, there's a flower.
Sorry, Isabel, you can't take that. It's on the park side of the fence.
What do you mean?
Well, in days gone by, the parks were for everyone. You could go camping, horse riding, motorbike riding, lots of exciting things.
What happened?
We didn't stand up against the green groups of the day, and we let them tell us what we could and couldn't do.
Is this our future, or will you stand up and say no to more national parks? Your vote is your access. Make it count.
Authorised by Bill Schultz for the Bush User Groups, United Maryborough.
Okay, so there's obviously the ads for the Bush Users. What was it? The Bush Users Group United. Ruthie's got a petition. I think it's about 25,000 signatures at the moment. So, and basically what's happening is this 700,000 hectares talked about being locked up in Victoria, and they're the ads that they've got playing in Victoria at the moment. So yes, fantastic. So Bodell's here. G'day Bodell, Brendan, Rodney. It's a really good ad. There's 2 more, and we'll play them a bit later on through the night. We'll split them up a little bit, but yeah, they're a really, really good ad, and it's important we don't lose these locations. While Queensland seems to be, although we're very limited, we've had a GPA recently open, Victoria seems to be going the other way, having ground locked up. So we don't necessarily want that to happen. So yes, there's lots of Donnies here, Caleb, Daniel, Lee. G'day Nadia, how are you? John and Tracy and Mark. Joshua's here, Sue, great to have you all here. So, so how it all came about, our little trip to the beach. We've done, I've always done a number of trips down the Gold Coast, particularly in summer. My detecting tends to shift in summer, being in Queensland particularly, that it's so hot out in Western Queensland. My detecting tends to shift a little bit more to the coast. So we've done a stack of trips to the Gold Coast, and the Gold Coast beaches get hit pretty hard. You have to be pretty switched on to get into the little pockets of where the tractors with the big rake on the back of them that stir the sand up. You have to be a bit unique to get in there and work out where there's still targets, sort of thing. And of course, there's a lot of detectorists on the Gold Coast. So this is a spot that I've always watched and always kept an eye on, and this is Wave Break Island. Now this is just at the spit, this is the ocean side here, and in the back down here, on a Saturday, this beach here will fill up with boats, and up on the top edge here, let me see if I can get this right here, the top edge here, a lot of the big boats pull up here and they all get on the beach here. So it's an area I've always been keen to go and have a crack up. Steve's just put a update there. 28,000, almost 29,000 signatures on Ruthie's petition for Victoria. So yeah, get on it. So yes. So anyway, I talked to Warren the other day and said, "Oh, do you feel like going for a detect?" And away we went. So the reason this place, and it was it was very, very good and hasn't seen much detecting, is that obviously it's an island, but there's stacks of people with boats and detectors, and that hasn't been hit very hard at all. Within the first 10 minutes, Colleen had a ring. So Colleen is just amazing at that, that's for sure. So Shannon's here. G'day Shannon, how are you? Kieran, Brendan, Douglas. Yes, Douglas makes a good point there. Don't vote for the Greens in Victoria. So what we might do now is, I've got a bit video crazy tonight, a bit add-in crazy. So we've got a little clip here of I took some drone footage while we were over there, just to give you an idea of where the island is, how close it is to Surfers Paradise, how close it is to the buildings. So what I might do, as long as I don't bore everyone with these videos, I'll just put this I only did this afternoon, it's only a minute long. I put some tunes in it, so have a listen to this and let me know what you think of my lack of video editing skills. So here we go. So there you go, that's the location we're in. Absolutely spectacular location. Yeah, so I thought Gem Q might like the guitar bit there. Yeah, I did that specially for you, mate. So, yeah, so that's the footage that we took, a little bit of footage, and we're going to do a full video for YouTube I think Warren took a stack of footage. So there'll be a couple of videos kicking around. So, yes, Donnie asked a great question here. I've got some footage of the nugget hunt. I haven't yet got to edit that. It's one of those jobs that's on the list. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks. So, so that was the location we were in. We were seriously 5 minutes boat ride from the boat ramp. You could paddle across there in a kayak, no problem at all. So just a sensational spot to have a detect. And I think if it's been detected, it hasn't been detected really thoroughly. There hasn't been a lot of people on that beach. So, so just a lot of coins. Colleen got a ring in the first 5 minutes. It was just and it was a beautiful spot. I even swum along that edge there, and had a bit of a detector. I took the AT Max in for a swim. So yes, so right. So we've got a few people here. Rodney, John, Richard, Clyde was here. Yes, Nadia mentions here that she missed fishing at Wavebreak Island, and fishing's normally pretty good around there. But I think I found some of your sinkers, Nadia. There was a lot of fishing sinkers on Wavebreak Island. So yes, so that little 1 minute clip I'll put up after the show on the Facebook page. So yes, right. Yes, Bodell asked the AT Max. Yeah, I swam with it. I haven't got any of the diving footage up here at the moment, but yeah, I swam with it. To be honest, it was a complete failure. I took you need waterproof headphones for it, and at some stage, I believe I might have caught the headphone cable in the car door or the tailgate of the ute. So it was, I tried to do a bit of a tape up fix on it, but the headphones were terrible. And it was about a 5 minute job, and the headphones were buggered, and so was the diving for the day. But I just went for a snorkel, so yeah. So so the AT Max, well, there's a lot of machines kicking around that are waterproof, but that's waterproof to 3 meters. So it was only pretty shallow stuff. So Steve, Justin's here, Dave's here, CQ Detectivists are here. Yes, I am very rough on the gear, Ray. Benny Reed's here. G'day, Benny. How you going? Yeah, so there is dedicated, like for diving, there is dedicated diving machines. There's Sea Hunters, there's Excaliburs, there's a White's one, there's everyone makes one. There's a Detector Pro one that's coming out that's very reasonably priced as well. So there is a stack of those actual dedicated diving machines, but I had the Max with me. I didn't want to take two machines. I only had the snorkeling gear, so as long as I didn't drop it in a hole, it was fine. And they float anyway, so they're slightly positively buoyant. So when you let it go, it wants to sit up on the surface. So you're not going to drop it. If you do let go of it, it's not going anywhere where it's going to get into a hole and get itself damaged, sort of thing. So, so the point of this, couple of people mentioned that there's no beaches up there in Toowoomba. Well, Tom mentioned there's no beaches up in Toowoomba. It's about thinking differently about detecting. It's about noticing where people are going and going to a different place that no one's thought of. So, Tom, just straight off the top of my head, has anyone had a swim at the swimming hole at Crow's Nest, for instance? And is there anything in the water there? There's people swim out there at Crow's Nest. The Crow's Nest Falls. So it's it's about thinking outside the box, and that's the trick. I see so many people hit the Spit and Currumbin and these common places. I see people hitting the same park after the same circus every time, and it pays off for them. But sometimes to get to the good spots, you've got to think outside the box. The more detectorists there are, the more ground gets closed off, the more you've got to think outside the box. So, yes. Right. Okay. Rodney asks me here, when you dive, do you wash the detector off? Yes, I just give it they're waterproof, so I just give it a hose off sort of thing. So, so yeah, to 3 metres. So I don't blast the hose at the buttons or anything like that, but I just give it a rinse. And yes, so that's the real trick there. Dustin's here, Lisa's here. Yes, so there's stacks and stacks of people here. So what we might do is, I think here I have another, we have another one of these ads that are playing in Victoria. There's only 3 in total. So, so yeah, so we might just, this is only a 15-second one. This is only a little short one, this one. So, yes, so we'll just play this one. I'll be back in a moment.
Riding, motorbike riding, prospecting and more. Don't lock us and future generations out. Your vote is your access. Make it count.
Authorised by Bill Schultz for the Bush User Groups United Maryborough.
The new...
There we go. Nice and short and sweet, that one. Yes, I don't think you want to be voting for the Greens down in Victoria, to be honest with you. So, yes. Steve, would it help to CRC or WD-40 the machine after use? Normally these shafts are aluminium. I suppose there is some steel in it that may help. I wouldn't be hitting it with WD-40, simply because just give it a rinse off, dry it out properly, won't be an issue sort of thing. So if you're diving with the machines, just, you know, give them a rinse. Like that, I've got a Sea Hunter. I don't think I've given that a bath for, well, a long time. And it's done beach work. I took it out the other day just at the front of the shop here to have a play with it. I've done heaps of work with it, and I don't think it really makes that big a difference sort of thing. So, right, yes. Where do you, so guys, the Bush Users Groups United stickers, where do you get them from? Douglas is saying everyone get hold of a sticker. Where do we get a sticker from, Douglas? Yes, it would be great. I haven't got a sticker. I would more than happy put a sticker on my truck. But yes, it'd be good to get a sticker. Maybe you can buy them and donate to the cause. So, yeah. Right, so, Ed, the only true wilderness is between a granny's ears. What? Oh, green. Maybe that's greenies. Okay. Okay. That's, yes, we've got it now, Ed. I thought granny's ears. What's going on with granny? So, yes. Right. Okay. So, so just to remind people, I know there's a lot of people just joining in late. I think we might have gone a little early tonight. So tonight's prizes are AT Pro Pointer. Probably amongst the best Pro Pointers on the market. There's a Minelab one that's pretty good. There's also the XP ones are good, but it's sort of maybe top 3 at best. So that's first prize. Second prize is a sand scoop that doesn't show up on the screen because of my green screen behind me. And third prize tonight is one of these wonderful coffee mugs. So all you need to do is share this live stream before we're going to draw this in about 30-40 minutes. And what we'll do is we select randomly someone who shared. We had a lady win a coffee mug last week that won the week before. That's how random it can get. So, yes. So, yes. So, yeah. So for people that don't know what's happening, the idea is that there's a lot of questions about what's happening with the state forest down there. Let me get rid of this. In Victoria, from my understanding, is that the Labor Green government, mostly pushed by the Greens, I suspect, that are wanting to turn all that state forest through the centre of Victoria. It's all old goldfields. They're wanting to turn it into national parks and hand it back to the original Aboriginal owners. So what that means is, if that happens, it closes those areas down for walking a dog, riding a horse, prospecting. You can collect firewood at the moment in those state forests. You can camp. It's dispersed camping, so you can go in there and pick a camp spot and camp wherever you like. So, so yes, that's what's happening. That's what's happening, and they're talking about closing all that up in a in the state forest sort of thing, in the national parks. So that would be a disaster for Victoria, in my opinion, to close all that up. A lot of those country towns rely on that, the income from prospectors and people going out there. So yeah, you'll only be allowed to go out there and walk, and only on selected areas, and it's they're talking about 700,000 hectares. Yes, so that's what's happening in Victoria. People were asking what's happening. I know a lot of you already know what's going on, so, yes. So, right, there was a couple of questions here about stuff. How much is a penny? There was a question about a 1930 penny. Chris, I don't know. It depends a lot on quality. They can be worth, next to nothing in comparison to what the mint ones are worth. So you need to look it up. There's a book called, there's a coin book you can get. I've got one here somewhere. I might even look that up after the show for you. Bianca, do I use a generator to pick the winners? Yes, I use a random share generator. It works quite well. So there's only 6 politicians. Douglas says there's only 6 politicians pushing this. Yeah, and I bet you they've got a tinge of green in them too, Douglas. So, right. Bianca says you got 3 pennies in the same hole last week, but they're too defaced, practically smooth. Knowing my luck, they're all 1930s. Bianca, anything that's worn out like that, any coin that's worn out like that, even if it was a 1930, it'd be worth next to nothing anyway. So, yeah. Chris is here from Bribey. Roger's here. Gem Q's here. Gem Q makes a good point. The problem with it is, if they start closing up some of these areas, it sets a real precedent to close up more areas and more areas and more areas. So, yes. Douglas says a diesel generator. No, it's steam driven. Warren, it's made out of pieces of old Dodge and a steam engine from the goldfields, apparently. So Warren comes up with that. So, yes. Right. Okay. Helen's here, Russell's here. Okay, so through the week we had 2 little videos there. We live streamed from the beach on Friday, and I'm not going to put all the finds up tonight, but there is a couple of videos of our finds there. But what I do want to have a quick chat about is there's 2 events happening this weekend. One is the Central Queensland detectorists are having a meeting. So if you're in Central Queensland, get in contact with CQ Detectorists. They're having a meeting conveniently. It's across the road from the pub. Be great. But much more importantly is, as most of you know, we've just moved into a new shop, new brand spanking shop. We're still sort of getting it organised a little bit, but this Saturday we're having a grand opening. There'll be some specials going around on machines. There'll be specials going around on pro pointers. We're giving away a metal detector, which you have to be here to win it. It'll be drawn. It starts at 9 and goes to 1, but we'll be here. I'll be here till 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So, but yeah, we're having a big grand opening. There'll be a sausage sizzle that the charity shop next door is running. So a fantastic event. We've already got a stack of people going. I don't know whether I can read that now, but there's a stack of people coming along and interested. So if you are in Brisbane and you want to come along, please come and join us. Warren from NQ Explorers will be here. You'll be able to quiz him about his big finds on the beach the other day or anything else. And Dustin, Mr. Goldrat, is going to be here. I'm really looking forward to having him here and answering a stack of questions, and because what he doesn't know about gold, I don't think it's worth knowing. So yeah, so he's probably one of the best gold people around. So I'm really looking forward to him coming along and getting answering a lot of questions. And we're going to have the sluice a sluice running up, a recirculating sluice running. We're going to have a pond out the front for gold panning. We're going to be giving away gold. We're going to be able to give away our pay dirt. So just to give you a bit of an idea, the shop is at 50 Freda Street, Upper Macrobat. So yes, and you can't miss it because out the front we put a big giant one of those roadwork signs out the front there today. So you will see it. So Sean asks, will we have any online deals running? That's a great question that I can't answer, Sean. I haven't thought about it. Possibly, probably. Now you've mentioned it, there probably will be. So we'll do a couple of specials, sort of thing. So, but of course, if you the big thing, of course, is that if you want a deal on something this week, I'll let the hair down a little bit. Just give me a call on that number below. Obviously not now while the show's on, but yeah, after the show or tomorrow, give us a shout. And if you're looking for something specific, I'll do you a deal you can't refuse. How's that sound? Right. So Len asks here, did I put my face on the sign? No, I did not, Len. I want people to come into the shop, not discourage people from coming into the shop. So, yes. So the store, like, we've simplified store hours. We're open 9 to 5, 6 days a week. We close Sunday. So 9 to 5, 6 days a week. It's done. So, yes. Yeah. So, right. So, right. What have we got here? So, okay, we'll go back to the beach now. I've got a little... Oh, well, it's 8 o'clock. So let me just... the prizes for tonight, AT Pro Pointer, $239 recommended retail. A sand scoop that doesn't come up on the screen unless I hold it at the right angle, and yeah, it's a good little plastic sand scoop. And third prize is that. So share this post before, we'll draw it in about 25-30 minutes. So share this post and to go into the draw. Right. So let's just Warren was on a mission while we were on the the beach the other day. He was predicting his finds. So, and this, there's a couple of little things about this video that I just want to bring up. This area here, was right up in the tree line, or getting up towards the tree line. This is the area that Colleen, and I need to ask Colleen why she instantly went to that area, and whether she consciously did it, or whether it was just walk up the beach and see what happens. But this area here, it was under a tree, very, very, and it had coin spills everywhere. The ring came out of there. But it just goes to show you've got to think about how people use the beach, or use an area to be able to narrow down where the targets are. I was down the bottom of the beach where there was no targets, whereas Colleen went straight up to the top of the beach in this little pocket under this tree that the video I'm about to show, and it was full of coins, and that gold ring came out of it. So I'll just play this. It's only a short one. It's only Warren and I mucking about, but yes, anyway, here we go. Have we got a prediction on this target?
What's this? Will be a dollar coin.
Dollar coin?
Don't even have any.
And push it across. Sorry about that, guys. We just had a bit of a bip there. So that's Warren's big prediction of his dollar coin there. I think Warren got about 6 or 7 tent pegs along the beach. He was the tent peg man. Yes. Yes, so I'm all back. Sorry about that, guys. It just with that video, it's interesting. That video, for some reason, must be a bit higher quality, and the computer struggled a little bit with it. So, yes. So under that tree, right, was a very, very rich little patch of ground. I don't know whether no one's detected it, but I suspect that it gets more use. People go there, they sit underneath the tree. And that's why it was a super rich little area. So that's what you got to try and do with these areas, and just to dial in and get exactly the right spot, particularly rally hunting. Yeah, that's the trick, sort of thing. So right, so Mike's here. K-Max here, Chris is here, Bianca, Carmen, Blake, Michael. Yes, Michael, he very rarely, he only owns 2 pairs of shorts. I think they were his good shorts, Michael. So, yeah, Warren tends to wear the same gear on his videos. So, yeah. Yes, that's right. So, yes, okay, so, right, Naomi's here, Andrew's here, Andrew asked a good question here. Anyone detected the beach at South Bank yet? The problem with the beach at South Bank is there's concrete underneath it, so you have to be a bit clever about how you set your machine up. I'm not talking from personal experience here. It's a mate does it. But yes, you have to set your machine up so the sand's about 18 inches, 2 feet deep. So you have to set your machine up so you don't hear the Rio in the concrete underneath. So there's another unique situation where no one would, unless you had a bit of thought about it, no one would really know how to detect that. And he does get chased off by the security guards quite frequently though. But he does it at night and happy days. So, yes. So, okay, so just to give you an idea, someone's made a very good point here. We'll put the picture of the island back up. So Colleen was detecting right in this corner, right here, right where my finger is there now. She was right in that corner there. The boats pull up along this beach here in this shallow bit. That's always packed with boats. So for some reason she ended up in that corner. I need to ask her why she went straight to that corner, but whether it was conscious or not, I don't know. But all the way along that beach, up high on the tide, was all on that tide line, the high tide line, was all the goodies. So, that was a good spot. That was a really good spot along there. This area at the top here tended to be a bit more spread out. All the targets tend to be, and nowhere near as rich up this end. Whether we actually did a fair bit here along this edge of the beach. Whether along further was better, we don't know. That's yet to be discovered. So yeah, just a really fascinating little spot. I would have thought that the rich area, I actually went to this area here, right along there, because I thought that would be the richer area, but it definitely wasn't. This end down here was the richer area. So, but yeah, it's interesting where you think is going to be rich, right? And it turns out it's somewhere completely different. So, yeah, it's fascinating. So, yeah. So, oh, Dustin asked a great question. Did I fly the Eureka flag on the boat? I didn't actually. Or maybe I should be flying the Eureka flag on the boat. So we got the Eureka flag out the front of the shop. Probably still out there now, actually. I probably didn't bring it in today. Right, so if you've got any questions about thinking outside the square, yeah, Colleen, like guys are saying here that Colleen's on the money. Colleen's a very, very good detectorist. You know, she's certainly a much better detectorist than what I am. My God, she is persistent and seems to be able to read the ground a bit better. She's been doing it a long time as well, but she's a phenomenal detectorist. So, yeah, yeah. So, Sky makes a point here that I think the Spit would be a good spot to hit. Lots of tourists and locals always, so that. So I find less success at the Spit than what I did at somewhere like that, because everyone thinks that, and the Spit gets hit so heavily that it's sort of a bit like, it doesn't really, you know, it doesn't seem to pay off as much as what the places that are a little out of the way do. So it's interesting. So yes. Oh, there's an interesting thing. Chris detected the beach on South Australia and found some wreckage from the SeaWorld chopper that crashed a few years ago. Wow, I didn't even know about that. That's amazing. So Eureka. The young guns are in the house, so the young guns have been doing some fantastic work with a school up in Rockhampton. Been teaching the kids how to go gold panning and a little bit of metal detecting. So it's really impressive to see Mick and Damo and the rest of the kids, Haley, doing lots of work up there. But they all had a turn at showing stuff. Andrew did a bit of detecting, and Damo did some panning. So yes, so yeah, so yeah. So there's a couple of, so I don't think I've got it up there on the live stream. So when we're talking about the spit, like the spit, so you could think about the spit as like, there's a lot of beaches around the country like the spit. We're not just talking about Queensland here. So you could be talking about Bondi, you could be talking, I mean, the spit is nowhere near as busy as something like Bondi or some of the beaches in Sydney or some of the beaches in Melbourne. But you could be anywhere. So the spit is an interesting area because they put a lot of festivals out there too. So the park has always got coins in it. And the guys are talking about that there, that Dustin, the management crew detects the cleanups and all that sort of stuff. So, so it's so the spit is, there's a lot of different areas on the spit. So, and you could detect the spit or a beach like the spit that's got a big festival area. You could detect that for the rest of your life and still be finding stuff. So, right. So let's. I think we've got one more ad. This is a 30-second ad. This one here. We might get it going here now, and I'll be back in just a moment.
Restrict access to 700,000 hectares of public land right across the state. This will mean activities like camping, horse riding, collecting firewood, prospecting, forward driving and hunting, even walking your dog will be prohibited or heavily restricted in these areas. Most of the communities viewing this ad at the moment will be affected by these changes. Your vote is your access. Make it count.
Authorised by Bill Schultz, the Bush User Group's United Maryborough.
Righto, there's the 3 ads. You might see them again next week, maybe. We'll certainly, I think the Victorian election's on in about 2 or 3 weeks' time, 2.5 weeks' time. So we'll give them a run next time around. But I think they're cracking ads, really good ads. So I think it's important, those ads, and yeah. So right. So Jamie, good thing we lost. Jamie ordered a Nell coil for his machine the other day, and it's somewhere with Australia Post. So we sent Jamie another one. So he's on his way to paying it off. He's got the new one. He's $9 in. So great stuff, Jamie. I'm glad that that happened, sort of thing. So see how quickly that I hope it's a lot of us signing it, but Ruthie's petition, Steve's just put up, was put on almost 100 people since we've been talking. So yeah. So right, who's here? Matt's here. Tony's here. G'day, Tony. How you going? Douglas is here. Carmen, how are you, Carmen? Good to see you. Craig's here. The guru with Aussie Detectorist page. So yeah, it's really good advertising, Francis. It's horrible for Victoria, and it'll break a lot of family traditions going out in that bush there. So let's hope it doesn't go through. Yeah, lots of people saying that they hadn't seen the ads until I'd played it tonight. They're only being played in certain areas in Victoria. There's not a huge budget, and if anyone's had anything to do with TV advertising, your dollar does not go a long way with TV spots. So you can't do a blanket Facebook campaign a blanket TV campaign, because it just doesn't work. So Roger's here. G'day, Roger. Chris is here. Paul's here. Aussie Gold Prospector. So yes, it was Australia Post again. Narelle asked if it was Australia Post losing stuff again. Yes. We had 3 different problems in the last 2 weeks, I suppose. So it's been a nightmare run. So I think it's this time of year that things get busy. So right, we've got about 10 minutes before we draw the prize. For those that don't know, I'm Ben from Gold Diggers. That's my mobile number if you need help with detecting advice, buying a detector, or just general advice. I give really terrible general advice, so if you want some terrible advice, feel free to ring me. Tonight's prize is a Garrett Pro Pointer, valued at recommended retails $239. That's the first prize. Second prize is a sand scoop that doesn't really show up on my green screen, but good little plastic sand scoop. And what was the third prize? Third prize, coffee mug. So we'll draw that in about 10 minutes time. So you've got to win, you've got to share this live stream. Yes, so great. Right, so okay. Dean's here. Dean's telling us where they are, Win TV Prime in country Victoria. So yes, Lisa, they will not lose your ATX. All this stuff that we lose by Australia Post is all sort of tracked and insured and stuff, so it's not a big deal. It's just painful because you feel like you're letting down people. So yeah, so yeah. No, Caleb's worried about, Caleb, you don't actually get this coffee mug. I've got some new ones in a box somewhere here. So you don't actually get this one, Caleb. So, yeah. And if I did send you this one, I'd wash it out first. So, yes. Okay. So, I think, what have we got? We've got everything done here. Guys, another little shameless plug. Don't forget the grand opening this Saturday. We're giving away a metal detector. We're giving away pay dirt. We're giving away, stacks of information for what's happening on the weekend. Right. So, who's used by Sky? No one will want this coffee mug used by me. Let me tell you. So yeah. Right. So. Okay, would be a relic club. Okay, so what else have we got going here? Gail's here, Ed's here. Ed, you can't buy a mug, you have to win one. It's a limited edition. Baz is here. Baz has found a very, very good nugget through the week, so good on you, Baz. There was another big find, which I haven't got actually up here at the moment, but I might just see if I can put it up here. But there was we sent a customer a machine, quite a good machine, a relic machine, relic and gold machine, combination machine. We sent a machine down to him. I believe it arrived the Friday. Then he basically spent the whole weekend detecting, and on the Sunday afternoon, 2 days after he got it, or maybe it was a week and 2 days after he got it, he found he got offered $15,000 for the engagement ring he found in a park. So just an amazing find for one lucky people. So yes, so there is some good finds out there. He's of course done the right thing and handed in the police, and it's got to do its standard 3 months sitting there with the police, and then afterwards he'll get it back. Donnie has also reminded me very nicely of you, Donnie. Donnie's put a link in the description, and the link in the description goes to the Queensland Gold Prospecting and Metal Detecting Events page. This is where all the events that are happening in Queensland. So if you want to come to Queensland and you want to do any events, that is the place where all the events gets announced. So there is the CQ Detectors event is up there. The Gold Diggers opening is up there. There's a whole lot of stuff that gets on that page that is really worthwhile going to. So Donnie's just posted that again there. He's posted it a few times there. So if you're interested, get onto that page, join that page, and you won't miss a thing if you're in Queensland or you're travelling to Queensland in winter next year. Donnie's got some big events coming up. So, right. I can't wait for the grand opening too. We've got a whole stack of stuff organised there, Nick. So, right, so have we got any other questions there? We covered everything. We've done the ads. We've done Warren finding tent pegs. Yes, I think we've sort of covered everything. So, is the grand opening wheelchair accessible? Yes, it is, Bianca. We are fully wheelchair accessible. So, yes, no problem at all. So, where's Taylor at? Well, Brendan, Taylor will be here Friday and Saturday. He's helping with the grand opening. But I'm on my Pat Malone in the studio for the last few weeks. So, but Taylor is still about, the bearded one. So, Sky should do a colouring comp for the kids on grand opening. Well, I didn't think of that. I was just going to give them some gold and pay dirt and get them to go panning. So, I think that'll do, won't it? So, Chris, yes, in winter next year, I'm coming to Victoria. Car parking. Craig asked a question about car parking. I reckon I've got, out the front there, there's probably 30 parks. Then there's probably another 20 street parks. We got tons of parking. So yeah, parking's not going to be an issue. First thing in the morning, there's a gym up the road for us that fills up. There'll be no face painting going on, Baz. So yes. Yes. Right, what time is it? Right, we've only got a couple more minutes before I'll just get the random share generator going. We might give away a couple more mugs tonight. There's a lot of people looking for mugs, so yeah, we'll give away a few more mugs. How many mugs will we give away? Why don't we give away? Yeah, so next year, I suppose. Okay, so next year, people are asking, "Oh, I'm coming to Victoria next year and what have you." So next year, I'm going to take the show on the road a little bit. The problem is I need to get areas that have got good internet connection, and that's the biggest issue. So Lanakuri Gold Bash, no internet connection, so can't go there and do a show. I'd really love to. The Nugget Hunt up in North Queensland, tried to do a show up there, can't do a show up there. So yes, we will do we will take it on the road, but it may not be as much as I'd like to in the places I'd like to, because I need pretty good internet access. So yes, we have a big road trip and get a few blokes going a go. So okay, so let's get this going here. Let's get things happening here. Sorry, I'm just getting the generator going. How many mugs? We might give away 3 mugs. Lisa, there is not going to be pony rides here on the grand opening. I hate to disappoint you. No pony rides. Okay, so let's do this draw. Let's draw let's draw the coffee mugs. Let's draw the 3 coffee mugs now. So, last moment to share. Please, you've got just a moment. Yes, so, okay, I'm pushing the button now, and our first winner is Brenda. Brenda is from, looks like Parks. So, congratulations, Brenda. You won, not this one, but a brand new Gold Diggers coffee mug. The next person that gets spat out of the... oh, this is good. Blake, Blue Dog Prospecting. Sweet. We love blue dogs on this show. It's one of our favourite breeds of dogs, so good stuff. You get a coffee mug too, Blake. And the third coffee mug is Bianca. I don't know where Bianca's from. It doesn't tell me. So, Bianca, I will contact you straight after the show. Okay, so, did everyone get that? Right. Okay, so, let's do it. So, sand scoop, the one that doesn't show up, the invisible sand scoop, the magical invisible sand scoop. Let's get the next person up here, and it's Vicky. Vicky looks like she lives in Brisbane somewhere. So it doesn't give me a lot of details, but I will contact you after the show. So, the big prize, the Garrett Pro Pointer, $2.39 recommended retail, goes to Doug. Doug is at, where's Doug? Doug, I think Doug's in Sydney. Yes, so it looks like Doug's in Sydney. So I will contact you straight after the show. These will go out tomorrow. Yes, so congratulations everyone. So I suppose we should talk about next week's show. Next week's show is going to be a mysterious bushranger that hardly anyone has heard of. Well, I hope that it's a bit unique. We're going to do a bushranger show, but it's going to be on this one particular bushranger. It could be 2 bushrangers depending on how much information I've got. But so every time we talk about bushrangers, we talk about Ben Hall, we talk about Ned Kelly, Starlight, all these people. So we're going to get off the beaten track this next week, and we're going to get to a very, very unique bushranger. I think you'll enjoy it. It's I've done a little bit of reading already, and this bloke's a bit he's pretty clever, this bloke. So so that's what's happening next week. The week after is retro round. So we're going to have a retro round. It's the anniversary, or close enough to the anniversary of the not next week, the week after, to the first show. So we might actually pull up some of my funny bloopers, or maybe I should get someone else to do it, my muck-ups, or we might even do something or other. So, and then we will be doing a couple of live streams during the grand opening. Like, for instance, we might do the prize draw. We might get someone to film the prize draw. It'll be pretty rough and ready. It'll be just from the phone, but we will do some live streams throughout the day. Let everyone know what's going on and what's happening. So, thank you everyone for joining me. We might just, on our way out the door, we might just, I'll put the drone footage little bit on again. So if people want to hang around for a minute and watch that, feel free. But anyway, I'll see you at the grand opening, or I'll see you next Monday night. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.